As a chronically online gamer myself, I've witnessed firsthand the insane links gaming content creators will go to for clicks. And look, we're all familiar with a bit of clickbait and rage bait, and the other one that starts with an M. That one's my favorite. But one thing I cannot stand is when content creators lie to our faces. Last month I made a video about Nintendo influencers and their performative, all talk, no action stance on Nintendo's pricing. And in that video, I focused primarily on one Nintendo YouTuber named Beat-em-Ups. This guy's probably the biggest Nintendo YouTuber in the world. He has like 2 million subscribers, 1,000 videos. He's been doing this for over a decade. And with the energy of a raging lion,
let's go!
And the beautiful mane to come with it, how could you not love him? But in that video, I was quite critical of Beat-em-Ups because he had made several videos and podcast episodes complaining about Nintendo's anti-consumer pricing, like the $500 Switch 2 and the $80 Mario Kart. Yet he turned around and supported that exploitative pricing by purchasing the Switch 2, literally every Switch 2 accessory, and every single Switch 2 game, which prompted me to say the following in that video. When your credibility is predicated on the value of your words, you cannot be this unreliable. When I tell you, nobody in the history of YouTube has ever clocked as hard as I did in that video. Because 3 weeks later, Beat-em-Ups posted a video where he admitted to lying to the entire Nintendo community. Now, before we get into this mess and I tell you all about what happened, I want to make it clear that I don't have any skin in this game. I do not cover Nintendo games or Nintendo news. I'm not a Nintendo fanboy, and I'm pretty sure the last Nintendo product I owned was a literal Wii. Wii Tennis, by the way, best sporting game ever made.
Nice car.
But what I do care about is influencers who use their platforms to manipulate and deceive their viewers. And as you'll see in this video, Beat-em-Ups actually has a history of engaging in this exact behavior. Now, I'm not saying he's a terrible person and that he should be stoned. Please, nobody throw rocks at him. I'm also not saying he should be canceled. I'm not hating on him in this video. I don't really care about the guy, to be honest with you. But what I do care about is wealthy influencers who lie to people that trust them, all for clicks and money. So this all starts the same way every scary movie begins, with a white guy and a microphone. And that is this guy Beat-em-Ups on his podcast Nintendo back in June when he said this.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. I can't tell you how I know. There's gonna be a Nintendo Direct next month in July. Here's what we're gonna see. Metaphor, Death Stranding Director's Cut S, Witcher 3 Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, Metroid's release date. The one more thing is supposed to be just a teaser card. I heard Isabelle's gonna show up and it's gonna tease a card Animal Crossing coming out in 2026.
People are gonna lose their minds.
That's everything I heard, and I never get information.
Spoiler alert, that was all a lie. Over the course of the next few weeks, these rumors he shared on his podcast spread like wildfire across the gaming community. Content creators were reporting on this. It was all over social media. Literal news articles were published about these rumors that he started. So why did these rumors get so much traction? Well, if it's not obvious, it's because they were coming from a source that people believed was credible, a source with nearly 2 million subscribers who has spent a decade publishing nearly 1,000 videos about Nintendo. These rumors were coming from a respected member of the Nintendo community, and someone, by the way, who was on record multiple times professing to hate leaks.
I hate gaming leaks.
So when someone who's a respected member of a community who has credibility says something, people believe it. But this is where the plot thickens. Because after sitting back and watching these rumors run rampant for several weeks, Beat-em-Ups posted a video saying that all of this was a lie.
I was lying. So
The lies! There you go, this bitch.
The lies.
Or I guess according to him, it was all part of a social experiment on how leaks and rumors spread.
Could I conduct an experiment to find a way to stop fake leaks once and for all?
Wait.
Yeah, Beat-em-Ups claim that he spread these rumors as part of a not so elaborate research study with the ultimate goal of stopping any and all leaks from ever occurring again.
Right.
I'm sorry. Now look, despite the goggles and the studious appearance, I am in fact not a scientist, but after watching his video, something about all this feels very, como se dice, stupid. So as you can imagine, after he came out and admitted that he made all this up, a lot of people were extremely upset. They felt that their trust had been betrayed. A lot of his viewers are Nintendo fanboys who really believed what he was saying was true and were genuinely ecstatic to hear that a new Animal Crossing game was coming. But then they realized they were being trolled. One commenter said, "There's a difference between getting a leak which you believe is true and turns out to be wrong and knowingly giving people false hope for views. That's why people are mad. It's weird that he's not taking full accountability for what he did. A lot of people are anticipating the next Animal Crossing and he knew that, so I don't get why he's trying to say it's the viewer's fault for rumors spreading so far." This comment hit the nail on the head. I'm honestly baffled by this. Did he really think he had the power to stop leaks once and for all? Was he really surprised that people believed what he said? Beat 'em ups with 2 million subscribers? Seriously? And did he accomplish anything in this entire experiment besides losing his credibility?
I was lying.
To me, it is very clear that he wasn't doing this for science and for the good of the people. He did this for views. I watched an excellent video by a YouTuber named The Artsy Gamer, who actually is educated in the social sciences, and she poked several holes in Beat 'em Up's entire experiment.
From the social scientist perspective of running an experiment, everything that he did for this experiment was not only unethical, but it wasn't good science.
This experiment was poorly structured, it was full of bias, it was misleading, and quite frankly, it was insulting. Beat 'em Ups leveraged his position as a popular content creator in order to spread misinformation for the ultimate goal of getting views. How much more fucked up can that get? He went into this whole thing and started this rumor knowing that he was going to make a video about it. Even our boy Luke Stevens, who's by no means the authority on matters of credibility, recognized that something was wrong with the way Beat 'em Ups went about this whole experiment.
This whole experiment, I think, is kind of moot because it largely ignores the fact that by being a massive channel and having a good reputation, that brings with it credibility. Nobody is going to think he's just lying about this for an experiment. Nobody is going to think that. That's a component of this equation that was just not thought about before it started.
In his video, Beat 'em Ups included several videos from other content creators who covered the rumors that he spread.
In that video, he pointed me out and called me out.
So he used his peers in the Nintendo space, people who believed him and reported on what he said, as evidence of how leaks and misinformation spread in the gaming community. Look, I'm not an advocate for influencers by any means, but to start a lie and then turn around and essentially say, "Oh, all of you guys spread my lie, and what you did was bad," that's a really shitty thing to do. One of the channels that reported on Beat 'em Up's rumor was Nintendo Talk. And after learning that Beat 'em Ups had staged this entire thing, he posted a video expressing disappointment in Beat 'em Up's experiment.
It turns out it's fake. Everything he said about knowing about a Nintendo Direct and all of the games that he said in his podcast and the Animal Crossing stuff, everything is fake for a video.
Again, the only reason Nintendo Talk and some of these other content creators reported on these rumors in the first place was because the source of the rumor was Beat 'em Ups, someone whose words hold weight in the Nintendo community. They thought because it was coming from him, it was a bit more credible. They trusted his words a bit more. So I don't really understand why Beat 'em Ups was so surprised that his rumor spread like wildfire. It came from the largest Nintendo YouTuber in the world. Duh.
I'm feeling a lot of feelings.
One comment on Nintendo Talk's video said this: "What was the experiment? We literally have scientific studies on how mis and disinformation spread. There was nothing new gained here, only a loss of trust for this content creator, not to mention the collateral damage to other content creators and companies. Such a pointless thing to do." Another creator named Switchforce made a pretty scathing video reacting to this whole Beat 'em Up situation, and I want to share a bit of what he said in his video.
Beat 'em Ups did not do this for the greater good of the community, and Beat 'em Ups did not own all of the fake leakers. Beat 'em Ups owned himself. Because I do not think lying to your audience is something that should be normalized or made okay. Leveraging your relationship and trust with your audience to conduct an experiment or any sort of thing that betrays that trust, I think is wrong. I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's clever. I don't think it's interesting. I don't think it's illuminating.
And the weird thing is, in his documentary, Beat 'em Up spoke candidly about how bad he felt about spreading these lies in the first place.
Oh, this one's sad. This one's sad.
When it came to Animal Crossing specifically, he talked about how that community was so excited when they learned that a new Animal Crossing was coming.
Crossing channel. Oh, it's all about Animal Crossing. Oh, it's so wholesome, and they just got so excited that I said Animal Crossing.
This is borderline psychopathic to me, I'm sorry. It's like going up to a baby panda and punching it, and then saying, I feel so bad for doing this.
Oh, for crying out loud.
What we've seen in...
I don't even want to hit play.
What in the hell am I witnessing here? Did he seriously not think about this beforehand? Was there any planning or forethought involved whatsoever? Because I'm starting to think he's not a real scientist. It kind of feels like he just opened up his notes app, brainstormed for 2.5 seconds, and then jotted down, lie to everyone for views, but pretend it's for science. As Switch4 says in his video,
there are two options here. Either he's super ignorant or he super wanted to make money.
The irony in all this is that I don't think his video did as well as he thought it was going to. It's sitting at less than 200,000 views. I seriously think he thought it was gonna pop off, but it didn't. And I'm glad it didn't, because in his mind, it probably would have validated this whole experiment if he did end up making a ton of money off of it. I've seen so many comments from people saying that they used to watch his videos, but now after this stunt, they're not gonna be tuning in. Now, since this happened, Beat 'em Ups has been mostly silent on this whole issue, but he did make a video on his podcast channel where he spent the first 30 minutes talking about the public's reaction to this whole experiment. And in the podcast, he wavered between saying it was a lesson learned,
and that was definitely a lesson I've learned,
to saying if he did it again, here's how he would do it.
I've thought more and more about it, and I think what I should have done, I should have just said there's going to be a direct, and that's it.
And then essentially saying that there were no negative repercussions of doing this.
Was it that negative? Like, did it cost anybody anything?
No.
No,
it didn't.
But here's the kicker. This is not the first time Beat 'em Ups has deceived his viewers for clicks. A year ago, he made this video titled, I was sent the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, there was no Switch 2 in this video. It hadn't even been released at the time, but what he did have was a Lenovo tablet. Because yes, this video was sponsored by Lenovo.
This video is sponsored by Lenovo.
And it's not a one-off either. 2 years ago, he performed this elaborate hoax where he pretended to have the Zelda edition of the Switch OLED before it was even released.
This is the Zelda Tears of the Kingdom OLED limited edition.
Only to then make a video saying that he fooled everyone and bought a knockoff version off of AliExpress.
I knew I had to fool people in 3 different ways. Websites like AliExpress started listing Zelda Switch shell replacement skins that you could just buy.
But then he said he actually did have the real Zelda OLED and that he just said it was fake for the video.
But did you really think this was the only time I lied to you?
You done lost your damn mind.
I watched it 2 times. I don't know what the hell the truth is, to be honest with you. But what I do know is that this whole stunt is eerily similar to his latest experiment.
To fool the world, I first had to fool my friends. I knew if I went on my podcast, I can't tell you how I know.
There's a very clear pattern here. A history of manipulation, deceit, and exploiting viewers for a check. And this kind of shit should be called out when we see it. Influencers are not above critique. If anything, given their platform, their audience, their influence, we should hold them to even higher standards. I also want to add, as a content creator myself, if you are a content creator, especially in the gaming space, you should be pissed off by this. Because it's content creators who do shit like this who give a bad name to other content creators who actually do operate with integrity and who value honesty and don't try to pull one over on their audience for views. And this is insane to me, but I actually saw a couple Nintendo YouTubers who made videos defending beat 'em ups.
You can't tell already, this isn't your normal Nintendo Prime content.
This guy was featured in Beat 'em Up's video as one of the YouTubers who fell for the fake leaks.
I actually think Nintendo Prime was the first person to jump on it.
Yet here he is, suckling at the teat of the man who made a mockery of him.
I had an opportunity today to sit down and talk with Woodhawker, aka Beat 'em Ups. He has just a lot he needs to get out there, but I don't want to talk for him.
Is the backbone in the room with us?
He did a thought experiment.
Experiment? You got played, homie. He used you for clicks. What about that is not clicking in your brain? One of these people said that he's actually friends with Beat 'em Ups.
But I'm someone that's been friends with Wood for probably 10 years now.
Friends do not use you as pawns for clicks and views. And look, taking a step back, I understand that in the grand scheme of things, this is just about video games at the end of the day. It's not like he murdered someone, nobody's saying that. But as we've seen, Beat 'em Ups does have a history of deceiving his audience for views and riches. We don't need to make excuses for him. As I said, I didn't even know who this guy was until a month ago when I made that video. But what I've seen Beat 'em Ups do over the course of the last month, whether it was this lie he started or the flip-flopping he did about Nintendo's pricing, these things encompass everything I hate about influencers and influencer culture. They say one thing and then do the other. They say this company is anti-consumer, we should be outraged, and then turn around and give that company their money. They say I'm being honest and then turn around and lie to our faces. It makes me sick. As a matter of fact, someone get me my blue shell.
And I got a gas, no Tesla. Said I need a meal, no less, bruh. I ain't seen it yet, so I might go request you. They been taking shots, need your best now. Seen them all talking while they chest out. Too much going, got them stressed now. And they see me winning, told them why you so upset now. I'll shut it down, yeah. 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 I'll shut it down, look.